We continue now at the top of Daf Kofalef Amar Aleph and Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 101a. The Mishnah says, Hadelas shebemuksa, you have a door in a muksa, which is a yard. Vechadokim shebepirtza, you have thorns that are closing up a breach. Umachtzolos, or you have mats that are closing up a breach. Ein noalin b'hen, you're not allowed to close those up on Shabbos. Ela imkein gavoim min aretz, unless they stay above the ground. Rashi here explains. Hadelas shebemuksa rochva shachori habatim, this is like a yard behind the houses. Umisham hachi the case is that they don't use these yards very often. They don't make a proper door. It just stands up by the entryway. When he opens it, he just throws it to the ground. There are some that are hanging, but they still drag on the ground. The point of the Mishnah is you're building when you close these things up on Shabbos. Even in a situation where it's hanging and dragging, that's not considered fixed. And when he lifts it up onto the threshold, since it's not set there, it's like you're building. Again, you have the thorns in the breach. You take some thorns, you turn them into a bundle. You use it to close up a breach. Then sometimes you'll open that up. And or you have a mat of reeds. Again, all of these things, they're imperfect doors, and unless they stay above the ground level, it's considered to be building if you're going to close these doors up. So the Gemara says, we have a contradiction. Let's say you have a door that drags. Let's say you have a mat that drags. Let's say you have a kankan that drags. Rashi says kankan hu klisha ochsen bo me'achore hamachresha kashen chorshin. It was a particular kli that they used behind the plow. And some people used it as a door. If it's tied and hanging, you're allowed to use it to close up the doorway on Shabbos. And certainly you can do that on Yom Tov. And the contradiction is, it seems that all you need is hanging. You don't need to actually have it above the ground. Whereas our Mishnah said it needs to be gavoim min aretz. So Amar Abaye says b'sheyesh lahem tzir. In this case of the Brisa, it has a hinge, so it looks more like a door. So it doesn't need to stay above the ground. Even if it's touching the ground, it's okay. Rava says b'shehayo lahem tzir. It's not that it has a hinge right now, but it had a hinge, so it's a hecker. Again, that it is a door. The basic key point is that if something looks like you're just closing a door, it's okay. But if it looks like you're building a wall, then it's problematic. So that's why the presence, either right now of a hinge or that it had a hinge, makes it look more like a door. So even if it's dragging on the ground, it's going to be okay. Meisve, we have a contradiction, a question. Telas hanegreres umachzelas hanegreres v'kankan hanigror. Same cases. You have a door, you have a mat, you have a kankan, and they're dragging. Bizman shekshurin utzluyin ugevoim min haaretz. It says they have to be above, they have to be not touching the ground. Afilu molenema, even if it's just by a hair, noel and ben, then you can close them. Vimlave noel and ben, and if not, you can't close them. But you see that in these cases, apparently, again, it cannot be touching the ground. Gemara says, Abaye metaretz l'taime, v'Rava metaretz l'taime. Abaye will answer according to what he said. Rava will answer according to what he said. Abaye metaretz l'taime, osha yesh lahen tzir, osha gavoin min haaretz. That you have to change the language of the brisa to be either it has a hinge or it is above the ground. So it only needs one or the other. Rava metaretz l'taime. Rava similarly will answer according to his reasoning. Kishahayo lahen tzir. Either again it had a tzir, osha gavoin min haaretz. It had a hinge or it is above the ground. It's not touching the ground. Gemara has a brisa. Taner Rabbanan, we learned in a brisa. Soche kotzim. Again, you have a bunch of branches of thorns. V'chavilin, and you have bundles. Shehiskinon lapirza. Again, you set them up to close off a breach. Shebechatzer, that's in the chatzer. Bizman shekshurna tuluya norlin ben b'Shabbos. If it's tied and it's hanging, you can close it on Shabbos. Vein sarach lamer b'Yontiv, and certainly that is true on Yontiv. Again, so here in this particular brisa, you require that it is kshurin and tuluyan. Tani Rav Chia taught in a brisa, deles almona, if you have a door, but it's an inferior door, hanegreres, and it's dragging, ein noalin, but you're not allowed to close it. Heichi dami deles almona. What does this mean? A widowed door, some kind of door that's missing something. Ika diamri techad shifa. Some say that it's only made of one board. So again, it looks like building when you use this. It doesn't look like a door. It just looks like you're putting a board of wood into a wall. V'ika diamri teles le gishma. Some people say it doesn't have some kind of a crossbeam, which again made it more sturdy. This is lacking that, so it's an inferior door. Amar Rav Yehuda says, "Hi Medorsa, if you're building a large bonfire, so you're building up the stacks of wood that you're going to burn. Mimalo lemata shari. If you place the top wood first and then you slide the other wood underneath, that's okay because it doesn't look like it's not considered like you're building. Mimata lemala asir. But if you do it from the bottom up, so you place the logs on the bottom first and then you start building up, that's already binyan on yontiv, and it's going to be a binyan of an oil, and it's going to be asir. And the Gemara says the same is true by a number of other cases. V'chein beyasa, the same is true by eggs. They also used to stack these on top of a metal. Again, there was like a clay barzel. They used metal vessels, which they stacked up the eggs. You have to do it from the top down. V'chein kidra, the same thing would be by a cauldron. They used to stack this up on top of something that was constructed. V'chein puria, also a bed that you assemble. V'chein chavisa, and the same is true also by a barrel. They would stack the barrels one row on top of the other. All of these cases, you need to do it first, have it on the top, and then slide the other ones underneath. Amar le'ahut tzeduki l'Rabbi Yoshua ben Chananya. A particular tzeduki said to Rabbi Yoshua ben Chananya, "Chidka, you're like thorns. Dechsib b'chu tovam kechedek." It says the best of you are like thorns. So it's a criticism even of the best of the Jewish people. Amar le said to him, "Shati, fool, shvila seifid dekra." Look at the end of the pasuk. Dechsiv yasher mi mesucha, straighter than mesucha. Rashi explains what that's supposed to mean. Rashi says, Shvila Sefer Dekra Hashbil Einechel Shifla Shel Mirkel Sofo Tira Shel Shevacho. You'll see that this pasuk is actually all a praise. Yasher mi Mesucha Hayasharim Shabanu, the straight ones of us, Meginim Aleinu Kesukkah. They protect like a sukkah. So they protect like a sukkah. So that's the same idea over here. The thorns are actually a kind of a protection. V'ela Mai Tovam Kechedek. What does it mean that the good ones are like chedek? Kashem Shechadakim Halalu Meginim Ala Pirza. Just like thorns can protect a breach that's in a Chatzer, kach tovim shebanu meginim aleinu. So too, the best of the Jewish people actually act as a shield. They act as a sourse of defense. Davar acher, another explanation. Tovim kechedek shemahadkin es reshaim legehenim. They crush up, they destroy the wicked, and they send them to Gehenim. That's the idea of chedek, is like mahadkin. Shenamar, like it says, kumi v'dushi ba'asir kikarne chosim barzel u'farsasayich chosim nechusha v'hadikos amim rabim. Again, you see the language of hadikos, and the idea is to crush the enemy, to crush those who are the Rishoim, and so that is the reference of the pasuk. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah. Lo yamar adam b'rishus hayachid v'yiftach b'rishus harabim. A person should not stand in rishus hayachid and open up a door that's in rishus harabim. B'rishus harabim v'yiftach b'rishus hayachid. He shouldn't stand in rishus harabim, open up a door that's in rishus hayachid. Elim kein asa mechitza gavo asar tvachim. Unless he makes a mechitza around himself that's 10 tvachim high, so then he's actually in a rishus hayachid the entire time. Divrei Rabbi Meir. That's the opinion of Rabbi Meir. Amru lo, so they said to Rabbi Meir, Maisa b'shuk shel pitamim. There was a story in the marketplace of the pitamim. Rashi says pitamim is the butchers. The Meseches Hashas says it might be those who sell chicken, sell fowl. Shahaya b'Yerushalayim. In any case, there was a story there in this marketplace in Yerushalayim. Shayu no'alinu manichas esamaftech b'chalon shal gavei Pesach. They would lock up the doors and they would place the key on the window that was right above the doorway. So it's exactly what they did. They were standing in Rishus Harabim and they were locking up a door that was in Rishus Hayachid. So you see, not like what Rabbi Meir said. Rabbi Yossi says shok shel tzemorim have it. It was a marketplace where they sold wool, not a shok shel patamim, not a marketplace either where they sell fowl or where they have butchers. Gemara says v'Rabbanan Amar Rabbi Meir Rishus Harabim Mahadrinu Karmelis. We don't understand what the Rabbanan's response is even to Rabbi Meir. A shuk in Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is not a Rishus Harabim. Rabbi Meir said you can't stand in a Rishus Harabim and open a door in Rishus Hayachid, and they're responding with Yerushalayim, which is not even a Rishus Harabim. It's a Karmelist. Amar Rabba Bar Barchana Amar Rabbi Yochanan, because Rabba Bar Barchana says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Yerushalayim l'malei dal soseh and inolos balayla. Yerushalayim, if not for the fact that its doors were closed at night, chayav and oleh mishum Rishus Harabim. It would be a Rishus Harabim. Meaning, in theory, it could be a Rishus Harabim, but it's not a Rishus Harabim because the doors are closed at night. Amar Papa says, "Kan kodem shenifritza pirtzas." That statement was made before there were breaches in the walls of Yerushalayim. Kan liachar shenifritzu pirtzas. But after there were breaches in the walls of Yerushalayim, then in fact it became Rishus Harabim. Rava says, "Seifa asan l'sharigina." The end of the mission is not discussing Rishus Harabim anymore. It's talking about the gates by a garden. V'hachi kamer. Here's what it means. Here's how you should read it. Put in the following words: V'chein lo yamod b'rishus hayachid v'yiftach b'karmelis. What the Mishnah then says, not in our Mishnah, but it really says that a person shouldn't stand in rishus hayachid and open a door that's in a karmelis. B'karmelis v'yiftach b'rishus hayachid. Similarly, shouldn't stand in a karmelis and open in rishus hayachid. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kaf Aleph Amud Beis.